This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, Governor Mills addressed the state today on damage recovery and power restoration efforts.
Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard was at the press conference and has more about what the governor says are challenging days ahead.
I think we were as prepared as possible.
Governor Janet Mills spent part of the morning Wednesday surveying floodwaters along the Kennebec River in Augusta before she received a briefing on storm damage and recovery efforts by the Maine Emergency Management Agency and Maine Department of Transportation. Residents in high-impacted areas are still being advised not to travel on the roads and say some Mainers may not have power until Christmas.
The extensive damage caused by the storm means that we're continuing to look at a multi-day power restoration effort.
According to Governor Mills, over 200,000 CMP customers and 42,000 Versant customers have already had power restored, and both companies are working day and night to get the lights back on. Around midnight on Wednesday, the Kennebec River was at 27 feet. It normally sits at 7 feet.
But water levels remain high, and they continue to pose a serious risk in many areas of the state, particularly along the Kennebec and Androscoggin rivers.
This press conference was the first time Mainers and members of the media spoke with the governor, nearly 3 days after the first impacts of the storm. She was questioned on the lack of communication. Her response?
We were in an emergency status. We issued press releases. I was busy on the phone and on Zoom with these good people and others most of the day yesterday and much of the day Monday. I was in the office.
On Tuesday, Governor Mills issued a state of civil emergency for 14 of Maine's 16 counties.
So this declaration of civil emergency formalizes our all-hands-on-deck approach, and it ensures that every state resource is available to towns across Maine that need assistance.
As crews continue to work to get Maine back to normal, Governor Mills says the state is resilient and has the strength to move forward.
We have challenging days ahead, but we will get through this.
In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And while crews have made significant progress on widespread outages, many Mainers remain without power tonight. Versant is currently reporting 43,409 customers affected by outages. High concentration still in Bangor, Brewer, Hamden, Holden, and Dedham, just to name a few. CMP is reporting 160,000, a little bit over 160,000 customers affected by outages. Androscoggin, Kennebec, and Cumberland counties showing some of the highest concentrations of outages there.
Although Monday's storm has come and gone, many are still feeling its effects. Our David Ledford spoke with some Dover-Foxcroft residents as some are still without power for the third day in a row there.
We got kind of blindsided by this storm. We weren't ready for it. Normally it's snow, and it being like rain and everything kind of came out of left field.
Following the aftermath of Monday's storm, restoration efforts are underway across the state. In Dover-Foxcroft, officials say they are still responding to calls after flooding impacted much of the town.
We've dealt with a variety of calls over the last 2 days, anywhere from power lines down, trees blocking roadways, building collapse, numerous flooded basements and flooded roadways.
Dover-Foxcroft Fire Chief Brian Godet says the flooding has now receded and some are beginning to have their power restored. However, some are still without power or running on a generator. Dover-Foxcroft resident Devin Baird says his mother was sent to the hospital because their generator is not strong enough to power her medical equipment.
She had some issues with her equipment for oxygen. She can't use her nebulizer, she can't use her concentrator.
Those who have had their power restored now face the challenge of repairing what was damaged during the storm.
It ripped shingles off our roof, it tore one of our French doors off its hinges.
We're helping a friend of ours repair his shingles.
For those still without power and looking to heat their home, officials say you need to make sure you do it safely.
If you have a wood stove, make sure your chimney's well cleaned. If you have to run backup generators, make sure the generators are placed away from the residents.
To learn more about safe home heating during a power outage, Godet says to contact your local fire department. In Dover-Foxcroft, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And our team caught up with Versant crews working to get people back online in Glenburn and Brewer today. Senior Communications Manager Judy Long described the amount of tree damage in the greater Bangor area as tremendous. She says their crews have successfully responded to local emergencies, and now their focus is getting power back on for everyone.
Versant Power has 164,000 customers in northern and eastern Maine, and we have seen more than half of them lose their power in this storm. Thankfully, we restored almost half of those customers that were out at peak, but it's going to take a great deal more work in order for us to get everybody back online.
Long says they expect it will take until the end of the week to get everyone's power restored. Additional crews from Long Island and Canada have also been called in to assist.
Well, as some homes and businesses wait for power to come back on, so are some first responders, particularly in the city of Brewer, and that creates a different level of complication. We caught up with department leaders there to see how they are getting over these hurdles. Downed trees and power lines are a common sight these days following Monday's storm, but for the city of Brewer, it seems Mother Nature pointed her finger directly at first responders.
The very worst section we had hit here in town was unfortunately right in front of the building.
We've been going up the opposite side of the road. We just barely squeezed through.
Public Safety Director Jason Moffett and Fire Captain Chris Dorr say the damage was extensive, with multiple downed poles and wires blocking access to and from the building, briefly crippling their operations.
We had a couple of poles come down in the high winds, and they actually trapped one vehicle that's still out there right now. I think we've got a total of 7 down now.
They are back up and responding to calls, but not without complications.
We've got a path to get in and out, but right now we have no power here, no internet, so, for our reporting systems, things like that.
We're unable to wash our gear. We wash our gear after every fire to remove all the debris and stuff from the fire. Our washer's not hooked to the generator because it was put in after the building was built, so we can't wash our gear.
It's unclear when the damage will be repaired, but in the meantime, they are stressing the importance of everyone being extra careful.
No, I think it's just important for people to recognize that when these things happen, they do need to have patience with the crews up there. And, when you're driving, drive with extra caution.
In other news tonight, jurors found one of the 2 defendants guilty in a Washington County murder trial. The jury found 39-year-old Kaylee Brackett guilty of murder. Jurors were unable to decide a verdict for 40-year-old Donald Dana, which resulted in a mistrial. Both Brackett and Dana were charged with the April 2022 murder of Kimberly Neptune at her Pleasant Point home. It's unclear when a new trial will begin for Dana.
We want to let you know about a traffic detour that will go into effect tonight on Interstate 95 in Bangor. The interstate and the area of Broadway will be closed on both the north and southbound lanes starting at 11 p.m. Wednesday night and should be open again at 5 a.m. Thursday morning. The closure is required to remove the overhead sign that spans the entire width of the interstate. It's all part of the bridge replacement project that started in September. The Maine Department of Transportation will have detour signs directing you around that area.
All right, so definitely something to be aware of as people prepare for their commutes tonight and tomorrow morning.
We also want to let you know we did see on social media per the Fairfield Police Department that a facility in that town is being used as a warming center. Right. There will be showers available. You're just asked to use your own, bring your own toiletries rather. We'll have that information on our website shortly for folks in the area who are still without power and, looking for a place to take a break and clean up.
Yeah, so many people going through that right now.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth and Peter. Our first weather is brought to you by Winterport Sheds. Do you need extra storage, a place to live, camp on your lot, building for your pets? Check them out at Winterport or at the Bangor Mall, and of course at winterportsheds.com. And weather-wise for us though, guys, starting out the day back in the 20s, I'd say slightly above or average for this time of year. Back in those upper 20s by Millinocket area, low 20s by Greenville, and then same thing up north. We're looking at lower 20s, so not a bad looking start to the day. Temperatures later on, though, back in the 30s and 40s, we did see a high temperature around 40 here in town, 37 in Millinocket, just up north, Greenville, slightly below freezing. Of course, with a little bit of snow here and there, We are going to keep that snow around in some spots with temperatures, of course, below freezing. But a good amount of clouds here in the region. Other than that, we did see breaks in the clouds. Of course, peaks of sunshine were showing up. Overall, though, advisory-wise, things are starting to settle down. Flood advisory still in effect, and gale warnings for the coast have still been posted, but those high wind warnings we had are long gone. Temperatures overnight tonight, though, will be dipping below freezing and hovering in those low to mid-20s. Beth and Peter?
All right, Conrad, thank you. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, the Deer Isle Nursing Home could be reopening, but with a different model. We'll tell you more.
Our Matthew Juroncic will explain that after the break, and we'll have more local news as well. Stay with us.
Do you need to replace your windows, but worry that your project will be hard to schedule and too expensive? Then call Renewal by Andersen, the custom replacement window division of Andersen. Our windows are made with an exclusive Fibrex material that's vastly superior to vinyl and backed by the nation's best warranty. Be sure to ask about our 1-year price lock guarantee to secure a price that's good for 1 full year. Call Renewal by Andersen for your free consultation and a money-saving offer. Installation is always included. Call now.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
Back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Maine QuitLink offers free help to stop smoking and vaping, including personalized quit plans and free patches, gum, and/or lozenges with every program. Get connected to a quit coach, trained to develop a plan that works for you. Learn how to curb cravings and overcome slips and relapses. It's free, it works, and people who enroll are 2 times more likely to successfully quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or enroll online at mainequitlink.com.
Do you want to improve or upgrade your home? Well, At Home Furniture, Appliance, and Bedding in Lincoln and Dover Foxcroft has got you covered. We pride ourselves in the relationships we build with every customer, from commercial businesses to homeowners. We have some of the best prices on the best brands of appliances, furniture, and mattresses, and we even offer full kitchen and bath remodels with a designer and installers on staff. So stop in today and check us out at one of our locations and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Don't get cold feet this winter. Stay warm and dry with high-performance footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. With an extensive selection of winter boots rated from 0 to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit, you'll find comfort in knowing your feet will be warm in any weather. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear with grippers built right into the sole, with boots in stock up to 6E and size 17 for men and women. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. Main Street Skowhegan is getting more than $425,000 for Phase 2 of its Revitalization of Central Maine Recompete plan. The money is coming from the Economic Development Administration. It now advances Main Street Skowhegan to the final round of federal funding, which will award an average of $20 to $50 million in implementation funding. In a statement, Senator Susan Collins said, quote, Main Street Skowhegan is committed to revitalizing the community while honoring the region's rich heritage. This federal funding will support Main Street Skowhegan's initiative to help individuals re-enter the workforce, helping to promote economic development in the greater Skowhegan and Waterville area, end quote.
Well, the demand for housing in Maine remains high. According to Maine listings, most counties in Maine are seeing plenty of qualified buyers for available single-family homes. However, there was a 5.5% decrease in the number of homes that sold in November of this year compared to the same month last year. The median sales price rose to $355,000, and that is an increase of more than 9%. Carmen McPhail, who is the 2023 president of the Maine Association of Realtors, says typically fewer homes come on the market during the holidays, which impacts the already tight for sale inventory.
The shuttered Island Nursing Home could be reopening under a different business model. Our Matthew Juroncic explains.
The Island Nursing Home could become a senior community housing facility. That idea was brought up at a public meeting with the Island Nursing Home Board of Directors.
What we hope will go on will be converting the nursing home rooms into community apartments.
The Island Nursing Home closed in 2021 due to a lack of funding and staff. Greenlaw says there will potentially be 20 to 25 apartments available for seniors, offering them main appliances while also stressing independence.
This has been a very important facility. We took a lot of flack when it was closed because a lot of people felt that this facility would be here where they needed it, and now it's not going to happen.
Greenlaw says it's unclear how much these rooms would cost. Residents of Deer Isle made it known that they want the facility repurposed.
It was so important to so many people that lived on the island all their life, counted on if I needed a place to stay, I could go there.
It's a concern that there was nowhere for seniors on this island or around the neighborhood to, find a place other than Ellsworth or Bangor for a nursing home. So it would be, I think, beneficial to the community.
91-year-old Joe Bruno lives on Deer Isle. He says if the Island Nursing Home opened under this new model, he'd be interested in living there.
It certainly would be an asset here on the island, but again, how many people take advantage of it is dubious. I would hope people would. I would.
Greenlaw says there's currently no active timeline for when the senior community housing will open, but says they're currently looking for an architect. In Deer Isle, Matthew Jaroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Still to come on ABC 7 News at 6. After a years-long wait, the town of Orland held a groundbreaking for their new fire department building.
And in sports, the Millinocket Marathon continues to grow and benefit the downtown area, breaking a record this year. We'll have that story right after the break.
Save 25% off at the Label Shopper Winter Sale. Winter designer fashions at amazingly low prices, now even less. Treat everyone on your list with 25% off select winter fashions today. Hurry in. Label Shopper. Great clothes, great prices.
I got hurt by a big truck. Why did I call the twos? Because life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money, and I'll fight to get it for you. We got a client who broke multiple bones in a commercial vehicle accident, $700,000. Another client had a brain injury, and we got them $1.15 million. If you get hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Call the twos. We win for you.
Hey, May. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
Season's greetings and have a happy and safe holiday from Ben's Auto Body, Palmyra. Carpet One of Bangor wishes everyone a happy and safe holiday season. Season's greetings and happy holidays from America's oldest shoe store, Colburn Shoe, Belfast.
When the acres add up, so does the work. The Kubota LO2 series is ready for it. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, it features powerful, dependable Kubota diesel engines, performance-matched attachments, and the versatility to get the job done right.
Available at Doors Equipment, 1468 Outer Hammond Street, Bangor.
The sweet spot where every craving finds its perfect match. Indulge in our pastries, delicious sandwiches, and our freeze-dried candy. Quench your thirst with our trendy bubble tea, natural energy drinks, or our all-fruit smoothies. The sweet spot in Ellsworth, where sweet meets savory, and every sip is an adventure.
Now, with so much on the line, more Americans are turning to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight than any other newscast across all of television.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start in Millinocket. Back in 2015, the company that owned the mills, the town's biggest employer there, closed down that mill. Gary Allen and Crow Athletics then created the Millinocket Marathon and Half with the goal of drawing people and some money to the local businesses impacted. And this year, they accomplished that goal and then some. For the 8th year, the Millinocket Marathon and Half brought thousands to the area this past December.
It was a great time just to have so many people from away and make our town like double in population size.
With their costumed contestants and with the fact that the race is held in December, the marathon is quite a unique event every year. And that is what makes it so special.
And it's just going to continue to get bigger because there's nothing traditional about this. So we have to be creative and we have to think outside the box. And Gary Allen, who is the race coordinator, has done that. He took it way outside the box.
This past season, the race raised a record-setting $15,000+ for the city of Millinocket, giving $1,000 each to 15 different charities. Exactly what it set out to do.
First thing that entered my mind when I saw that we were going to donate $15,271.20 to the Millinocket community was, wow, this is beyond what I ever thought would be possible.
While the marathon gives a ton to the community returns the favor. Take Marcia Hayes, for example. After finding out she lost her husband while working the marathon, his company turned around and gave $5,000 to the cause, a gesture that means the world to the family.
That all this lovely giving we're going to do will be for Terry and in Terry's name, in a community that he grew up in and he loved. And every year at this time, it renews why I love this place.
That spirit of giving that the marathon inspires is contagious to all who attend. And this year, millions were spent at local businesses. So it's safe to say that they are accomplishing the mission they set out for back in 2015. And with how successful it's been in such short time, who knows how big this can get.
Who even knows what the future holds, and I think it can grow, and I think it can continue to be a significant event to make Millinocket feel very magic again.
It certainly is a magical event, one of my favorite things to do every December. That's all the time we have for sports right now. Here's Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast. Conrad?
Thank you, Tyler. Our main weather today is brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studios at Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. And weather-wise, though, for us guys today, not too bad. It was a little bit cooler, but temperatures here in town, not as bad. Slightly actually above average for this time of year. Clouds here and there, but no precipitation falling. We're actually going to stay clear the next several days. Now, as that low pressure system moves out of the area, we start to really clean up of all that damage from that wind and, of course, the rain, the flooding we had in some areas. Things are going to stay clear, actually, the next several days. We're actually going to be cooling down and staying sunny with lots of sunshine the next upcoming week. Rainfall-wise, though, pretty much at nothing the next 4 to 5, even up to 6 days. Maybe a couple of sprinkles up north closer to Caribou, but most of the state will be staying dry. Finally, I know, right? We had that massive, massive storm just a day and a half ago, and now things are starting to improve. Here in town, though, 13-mile-per-hour winds right now. By Bar Harbor, though, a little bit stronger. It's not showing up there, but at least 16, 17-mile-per-hour sustained winds are happening at the moment. And, of course, wind gusts closer to 30 miles per hour. Same thing in Greenville. We're looking at gusty winds, a little pocket of some gustier winds. And same story pretty much into the Machias area. So right by the coast, be careful of very, very breezy winds. Down south, though, of course, Texas, they're chilling in the 60s right now, a couple of 70s as well. Florida's hanging out in the 60s, but we're not even close to being that lucky. Midwest, okay, a little bit warmer in Chicago, mid-40s. Indianapolis in the 40s, but up the eastern seaboard, a little bit cooler. We got 30s and 40s into New York City, mid-40s outside. That's slightly below their average. and then 30s here in town. Our average is around 33 degrees, so we are slightly above that today. But then look what happens Thursday into Friday. We're pretty much cooling down, back in the 20s, and then 30s make a return by the weekend, even some 40s right in time for Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day. For tonight, though, a little bit chilly. Temperatures hovering pretty much at around 20. Some spots in those lower 20s. Mainly clear skies, though. It's going to stay windy. We're going to see that wind out of the north blowing to around 25, even 30 miles per hour, especially those wind gusts. For tomorrow, though, temperatures back in those upper 20s, mostly sunny skies, and the winds will continue to howl out of the northwest this time, up to even 35 to 40 miles per hour. With temperatures in the 20s, folks, please bundle up, put on your layers. It is going to feel extra cold. Our extended forecast outlook does show 20s once again for Friday, a little bit warmer for Saturday, mid-30s outside. Look what happens for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Temperatures will be hovering around 40 degrees, and it does look like we're going to have lots of sunshine back in the forecast. Beth and Peter?
All righty, Comrade. Thank you so much.
And there's more to come. Stay with us.
Rack Knick-Knack and Tack Shop, located in the heart of Dexter, announces an expansion of antiques, horse tack, DP saddles, gifts, collectibles, vintage clothing, jewelry, and more. Come in and see something for everyone.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
The best value for your money is only at the Furniture Gallery. And as the end of year approaches, it's time for our end of year blowout sale, where you can save up to 70% off brand name mattresses and furniture. At the Furniture Gallery, we're slashing prices like never before. Quantities are limited and they won't last long, so hurry in and save big. You won't see these savings again, so don't miss your chance to purchase those special items you've been looking for all year. Shop local, save money at the Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Newport, and North Windham.
With AAA Insurance, by bundling our home and auto policies, we saved over $450.
And we were shocked at the savings.
When we switched to AAA auto insurance and bundled our policies, we were able to save over $400 every year.
Switch to AAA Insurance today, and you could save an average of $483 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free AAA full picture quote to find out how much you could save.
Well, my passion is hang gliding. I've been doing it for over 30 years, and it's like flying. I mean, it's like everything you always dreamed about. AAA Insurance helps us save more.
And do more.
The savings from AAA Insurance has allowed me to pursue my passion of making jewelry. It's great to have a little bit of extra cash to do something that you love.
To find out how much you could save by switching to AAA Insurance, call 866-460-1310 for your free AAA full picture quote today. You'll be glad you did.
Tonight, tracking new storms as airlines brace for the holiday rush, plus Israel under growing pressure to scale back attacks on Gaza. More Americans turn to the most watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
After years of trying to make it happen, crews broke ground today for a brand new fire station in Orland. Voters overwhelmingly approved the $3.8 million project last spring. The new fire station will be significantly larger, and it will have a large training room as well as safety features like a decontamination room.
The apparatus have gotten bigger, so we've had to make some really interesting compromises on new trucks because a lot of the trucks won't fit through the doors. We know what we've learned about health and safety has changed so dramatically, so we know like the hazard of the exhaust from the trucks. We don't have a system preventing that.
Work will continue through the winter. Construction is expected to be completed a year from now.
Finally tonight, it's not all that often that a firefighter also works as a 911 dispatcher, but that's the case for Blaine Parsons, who says he enjoys working both roles.
Helping people is the best thing in the world to me. To be there as far as being a dispatcher and having them call in, they're having their worst nightmare on their worst day, and to be able to know that you're going to contribute to the best outcome of their situation makes me sleep easier at night.
Parsons tells us he became a firefighter for the town of Unity at the age of 18 and then started working for Waldo Regional Communications Center at age 20. He recommends first responders and those working in dispatch to do what they can to gain a better understanding of both roles. Certainly someone who is serving the community in a multitude of ways.
Yeah, well versed on multiple levels. Great
Yeah.
to see. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.